Good morning, learners and viewers. Welcome to the session for MMPC 18, that is Entrepreneurship. Today, we will continue with Unit 9, that is Selection of Finances, and we were discussing stages of venture capital financing. So, today we will be talking about serial number 3, that is debt financing. Debt financing involves borrowing a fixed sum from a lender which is then paid back with interest. When a company borrows money to be paid back at a future date with interest, it is known as debt financing. It could be in the form of a secured as well as unsecured loans, bonds, debentures, leases, certificates, bill of exchange, and promissory notes are example of debt instruments. Sources of debt capital are far more numerous than sources of equity capital, but the entrepreneur must be certain that the business can generate enough cash flow to repay the loans. Banks were once the primary source of operating capital, but today they are much more conservative in their lending practices. As established business can usually get a line of credit from the bank, the business can borrow against this credit. Line of credit is an arrangement whereby a lender agrees to lend a specific amount of money at a certain interest rate for a specific period of time. Some businesses may seek trade credit from the other companies in their industry as a form of debt financing. Trade credit is a credit one business grants to another business for the purchase of goods or services. Businesses can borrow money by pledging as collateral otherwise ideal assets, that is, accounts receivable, inventory, and others. What is leasing? It is a contract between the leasing company, the lessor, and the customer, the lessee. The leasing company buys and owns the asset that the lessee acquires. The customers hire the assets from the leasing company and pay rental over the predetermined period for the use of the asset what they are using. The fourth one is creative sources. Some other creative sources of finances are business incubators. These generally focus on the high-tech sector by providing support for the new businesses in various stages of development. There are also local economic development incubators, which are focused on areas such as job creation, revitalization, and hosting and sharing services. Government grants and subsidies. Government agencies provide financing such as grants and subsidies that may be available to the business. There are other grants available to the entrepreneur at the central, state, and local levels. These may take different forms and vary greatly depending on the objectives of the level of government involved and the geographic region or the area. Crowdfunding. It represents an opportunity to overcome the challenges of traditional access to finance. Crowdfunding is an emerging approach for entrepreneurs to implement their ideas despite not having traditional monetary resources such as banks and venture capital. It is a method of collecting many small contributions by means of online funding platform to finance or capitalize a popular enterprise. Through crowdfunding platforms, the crowd would invest in business ideas and projects, and entrepreneurs can raise funds via the internet. Implementation schedule. It is essential to draw an implementation schedule or a timetable for your business. The task of preparing such schedules forces one to enumerate the various steps which you will have to take prior to commencement of commercial production. To appreciate the interdependence among these steps and hence the chain effect of delay in carrying out one step on overall implementation schedule. Thirdly, It worked out a calendar for bringing in your funds for implementation. Timely implementation is important because there is a delay. It causes, among other things, a project cost overrun. A project meant to be implemented in 12 months at a cost of rupees 15 lakhs may entail an expenditure of 20 lakhs if there is a delay in implementation, and this may jeopardize the financial viability of the project itself. Major considerations for formulating implementation schedule. While working on implementation schedule, bear in your mind the following steps. You will like to carry out tasks involving capital expenditure only after the term loan is sanctioned. Some tasks are sequential. For example, machinery can be installed only after it is received. Some tasks are not sequential and can be carried out simultaneously. For example, electrification of factory building and recruitment of manpower. Remember, implementation progress is not entirely in your hands. An unhelpful official can hold up your term loan sanction. A transport strike may delay the delivery of machinery by a few weeks. Common errors in business plan formulation. We have covered the ways in which one should go about working on various facets of a business plan. If one works accordingly, then you are likely to avoid major errors. There are some errors which are so widely noticed and are highlighted here. First one is capacity utilization estimates. Cross unrealistic. Over optimistic and simplistic assumptions with reference to utilization of installed capacity in a pervasive feature of business plans. There are so many entrepreneurs who presume 80% capacity utilization in the first year, 90% in the second year, and 100% in the third year. The assumption is made in complete disregard of existing enterprise performance, market condition, completion level, and possible technical stacks. The business plan in such a case is reduced to financial reality. Second one is capacity computation, a miscalculation. The computation of installed capacity is a technical task, not always performed competently. There are several finer points: die changing time, downtime, periodic shutdown, capacity of other equipment which tends to lower the overall installed capacity. Third one is market study, a neglected task. Market study continues to be a gray area. It is relatively easy to work out technical arrangements and to make financial performance projection. Hence, in these cases, dealing with specific or quantitative variables. Market study, in contrast, entails a less structured role and contending with less definite variables. So there are entrepreneurs who pass this component of business plan completely. Fourth one is machinery selection, a serious error. This is a subject on which faulty decisions are common. There are machinery suppliers who may never make a certain kind of machinery, may not have ability to do so, and yet undertake to supply such machinery. The results are sometimes disastrous. There are plastic extruders which are scarcely executable. These are being sold and bought by enterprise. Fifth one is project cost and underestimate. The promoters of very small enterprises do not consider P&L expenses and working capacity margin. They consequently underestimate the project cost and own resource requirements. That's the market. The other tend to play down magnitude of working capital margin. This is because if the working capital margin is large, financial institutions will expect the entrepreneur to raise this own contribution to the project cost. Thus, working capital underestimates an error. One must guard against. Sixth one is cash flow in initial years. that is poor details. The cash flow during implementation period and initial years is not charted out in sufficient detail. One will be able to do this only if you ascertain the disbursement modalities of financial institutions completely and work out a thorough cash plan with built-in contingencies. They may expect you to spend from your resources in the first place. It may make direct payment to machinery suppliers and reduce your flexibility. There are machinery suppliers and others who may expect advance payment from you. If you have not envisaged such payments under your cash plan, your implementation will grind to a halt. Now we move to Unit 10, that is how managing the enterprise. As different parts of a machine work together to perform a task, an enterprise also performs several functions together to attain its objectives because of creating enterprise in the enterprises. Business activity may be divided into various functional areas like finance, marketing, operations, HR. This division creates efficiency in the business activities that the enterprise is doing. It is also noted that the number of functional areas depends on several factors, including the size of business, nature of business, and the type of market, and many more. The financial function plans and obtain funds as per the short and long-term requirements of the enterprise. The obtained fund is invested according to the requirement of the enterprise. Entrepreneurs also perform marketing functions to discover the needs of the customers and supply them with the products and services that meets their needs. One of the major functions performed by the entrepreneur is to conduct various operations of the enterprise. In this function, entrepreneurs converts input into outputs. In other words, it converts various factors of production into goods and services. Operations manage the production, supply chain, procurement, logistics, etc. of the entrepreneurial business. The human resource department of the enterprise is responsible for recruitment and selection, training and development of the employees working for the enterprise. Now, managing enterprises finance function. An entrepreneur uses the finance function to take access to various resources for the enterprise to be used in marketing, operations, and HR functions. Financial management is one of the pertinent managerial activities performed by the entrepreneur. As we can see over here, managerial functions includes planning, organizing, and controlling. The managing in further, it includes the creation of finance policies and procedures oriented towards value creation and wealth maximization. An entrepreneur has to take three important financial decisions: financing, investment, and dividend, and working capital discipline. Identification of financial needs and negotiation for funds. Financial needs differ from entrepreneur to entrepreneur and enterprise to enterprise. Entrepreneurs, while looking for funds, are expected to answer the following questions. For what purpose do I need money? How much money do I need? If the cost of debt and equity affordable, what is the goodwill of the enterprise? Can I provide a security mortgage for the loan? What are the possible sources of finance? And do I need to opt for a short-term or a long-term financing? Suppose an entrepreneur wishes to take a loan. He or she may compare the interest rates of various agencies and may take the cheapest one. What the insecurity is. Sometimes a revolving credit facility may be a fitting option for the working capital requirements of the enterprise. An entrepreneur may start a firm and create a purpose of which he or she needs money. An estimated capital expenditure amount is needed, which may come from equity or debt finance. Entrepreneurs need to look into the cost of financing too, which also depends on the term, either on a long term or a short term horizon of the investment. Negotiations with venture capitalists. Entrepreneurs may negotiate with VCs with the help of the following steps. First one is explore the right via venture capitalist. Then negotiation on the enterprise's valuation, negotiation on amount to be raised, and negotiation on the terms of funding agreement, and structuring and closing the deal. These are the steps which have to be followed. Designing optimum capital structure. An optimum capital structure is a debt equity mix or structure of capitalization that maximizes the market value of shares and minimizes the overall cost of the capital. Profitability. Expected profitability determines capital structure. An entrepreneur may perform an EBIT/EPS analysis to calculate the EPS on the estimated EBIT with various proposed capital structures. Each capital structure may have a different set of debt equity ratio. Then comes your liquidity. Inclusion of debt in the capital structure positively affects the profitability, but it increases the mixed financial charges. So the liquidity of the capital structure is also crucial. Liquidity is related to the insolvency of the enterprise. The enterprise must try to create a balance between liquidity and portability and profitability. Third one is control. An optimum capital structure also warrants control. The entrepreneur may first decide on the extent of the control and then the makeup of the capitalization. Taking capital budget decisions. Capital budgeting decisions deal with the project or investment's cash flows and outflows. It aims to measure expected returns from the project. What are the steps in capital budgeting decisions? First one is project generation, project evaluation, project selection, and project auditing. The first step in the overall capital budgeting process, proposals projects are generated. The project may be taken either for expansion or modernization, or for adding a new product line or achieving cost reduction, etc. Capital budgeting involves the evaluation of the project as performed with this step. In this step, projects are evaluated for the net benefits that they generate concerning risks. Then projects are selected based on the net profit that it generates by using any of the above mentioned criteria. The entrepreneurs has to continuously monitor the budget for the estimated cash flows and compare it with the actual cash flow. Then comes your sharing profit or dividend payouts. An entrepreneur may divide the profit earned to the investor in the form of dividends. Before this dividend, an entrepreneur may decide upon the payout ratio and frequency of distribution. New entrepreneurs or startups may not think of declaring a dividend in the initial stages and may follow a policy of zero dividend payout. In later stages, the enterprise may put an initial public offer, that is what we call it as IPO, and then may follow a policy as per the expectation of the public investor. Entrepreneurs can keep either the percentage to earning or the total amount of dividends taken. Dividends are normally declared if profits at other firms are available. Entrepreneurs, after careful thinking, decide the payout ratio with a balance between the firm's future investment requirements and the expectations of the financial providers. Then comes your working capital management. Working capital management is the management of the liquidity position of the enterprise in short-term basis. It deals with the current assets and liabilities of the enterprise. Current assets are those assets that can be used up or converted into cash within a year. And current liabilities are those liabilities that are due for payment within a year. For example, current assets such as inventory, cash and equivalents, account receivable, etc. And your current liabilities are account payables, short-term loans, and acquired expenses, etc. Working capital management deals with the liquidity position of the enterprise if it is following the net concept of working capital, whereas it takes care of financing issues if the following the cross concept of working capital. These types of working capital are can be net working capital or gross working capital, which is net working capital is current assets minus current liabilities, and your gross working capital is investment in the current assets. Entrepreneurs use working capital to run the enterprise day-to-day operations and meet obligations in a short time. Without enough working capital, he or she cannot pay its employees, suppliers, interest, etc. Entrepreneurs also need working capital to grow, as positive working capital creates eligibility for loans, etc. Then comes managing enterprises marketing function. The American Marketing Association, that is AMA, has defined marketing as marketing is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have values for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. Entrepreneurs initiate the marketing function with the identification of the needs of the customers, and to do this, information on customers and their preferences needed. That is why marketing research becomes a very important function here. After receiving the need information, a product or services is developed by the entrepreneur and the team involved. For this purpose, product designing, durability, quality, and cost becomes important factors. The entrepreneur may use branding and packaging as a pertinent feature of the future success of the product. Branding creates product recognition and improves the goodwill of the product or services. It further creates a separate identity for the product and services. Second part is pricing. Pricing is always an area of concern for the enterprise. Pricing depends on the price of competitors, market demand, ex- enterprise policies, etc. Apart from this, entrepreneurs make its customer aware of the product, and this is done through promotional activities, which includes cost. Market research and assessing the consumer needs. Entrepreneurs may conduct market research to determine the viability of a new service or product. Information may be collected directly from the existing or potential customers. In this process, opinion and feedbacks from the consumers are obtained, analyzed, and incorporated into the product or services. Assessment of consumers' need and preference is done in the market research. What is the process? Or what is the process which is involved in market research? Step one is identification of the problem. Entrepreneurs may start the process by identifying the problem or opportunity that he or she is having. Entrepreneurs may wish to know the reason for the loss of his or her product share in the market, how customers would react to launching a new product, etc. Then entrepreneurs decide upon the issues of the research, normally called research problem, to collect the data. Step two is market research planning. Research planning aims to answer or to explore the research problem or the unexplored opportunity already identified. It may involve analysis and planning for goals concerning the product and service, analysis of competition, customer information, possible direction of marketing of product and services, possible research design, a timeline, a research budget, and ethical issues. Step three is data collection. The entrepreneur may initiate data collection in market research after the planning stage. Primary data is the original data collected by the research first, and secondary data is already collected and readily available from other sources. As per the need, the entrepreneurs may opt for the method of data source and method of collection. One may also take a note of qualitative versus quantitative data and collect data accordingly. Data collection may be of the following types. We can see it. If we talk in terms of sources, primary sources of data collection are interviews, questionnaires, observations, focus groups, and experiments. And as far as for collecting secondary data is concerned, the different sources are libraries, published sources, and the internet. Step four is once the data is collected, the analysis comes into play. That is data analysis. Here in this step, the entrepreneurs or the research person appointed by the entrepreneur analyzes the data collected in the previous step. Qualitative and quantitative data or a mix of both is put to test and a conclusion is drawn regarding the research problem. As stated in step earlier step, large data is summarized and presented in tabular form. An entrepreneur may opt for a statistical testing of data analysis to estimate the significance level of results. Step 5 is reporting results and action taken. After the research work is completed, the entrepreneur may want to keep documentary evidence of the research and the report. Entrepreneurs may take guidance from these reports. The results and goals initially put are accepted. One point the entrepreneur must not miss is the changing environment of business. Results and strategies may not give desired results if the business environment is changing fast. We have to keep that thing into consideration also. Choosing a market mix for product and service. We have product marketing mix as 4Ds and marketing strategies is also based on 4Ds. The number of Ds will increase for service marketing, such as we start with price, place, physical significance, process, people, promotion, product. These all comes under marketing mix. If we talk in terms of product, an entrepreneur may create a product or service to satisfy customer needs and wants. Second is pricing. The entrepreneurs should know the price that customers can pay for the product or service. Else, one can opt for cost plus pricing by changing a margin over the costs. Third one is place. The entrepreneur's success also depends upon the place where the product or services is sold or provided. Then comes your promotion. Promotion campaign includes advertising, sales, promotion, personal selling, and public relations. Next is the people. The entrepreneur himself with other employees in the epicenter of the organization. Sixth one is process. Through the service process, the service is delivered to the customer. An entrepreneur may think of delivering services most efficiently to the customer. And the seventh part is physical evidence. To take the service tangible and measurable, entrepreneurs may look or provide physical evidence. What are the how the developing suitable product is done? Entrepreneurs may develop a product as per the requirement of the customer. A new product management includes the following steps. That is idea generation, idea screening, product development, test marketing, and then comes the commercialization. Adopting pricing policy. The pricing process determines the entrepreneur will receive in exchange for the product supplied to the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs can set the price of his or product and service independently. That includes the cost of the product, perceived value of the product, competition, and demand of the product. Developing or opting suitable channel for distribution. An entrepreneur may opt a distribution channel to transfer goods and services to the customer. The distribution channel is the channel of intermediaries through which this transfer is done. Channel includes wholesalers, retailers, distributors, etc. And in direct distribution, the entrepreneurs can directly sell to the customers. Distribution channel provides scope to the entrepreneurs to adjust the number of stops before the product reaches the customers. An effective distribution channel is a requirement for efficient and effective marketing. Selecting the modes of promotion of the product and services. An entrepreneur may consider a set of marketing approach to optimize promotional efforts and inform the target customers about the product and services. Various components of the promotion mix are promotion mix consists of four stages: advertisement, direct selling, sales promotion, and public relations. How the enterprise operations are managed. That is, managing enterprises operations. The entrepreneur uses operations maximize efficiency within the organization by administrating business issues of the enterprises efficiently. With efficient operations management organization capably converts input like material labor, etc. into outputs in an effective manner. An entrepreneur or operation manager manages various organizations processes to create equilibrium in research, revenues and costs, thus achieving optimum profits. Enterprise is dysfunctional, is involved in the acquisition of materials and effective utilization of labor to create output according to customers' expectations. Entrepreneurs need a plan, the processes, the forecasting, the demand, and optimize resources before delivering a product to the customers. They may follow a repeatedly continuous process of production. The important issue is always the bottlenecks that creates inefficiencies in the operation process. To maintain maximum efficiency, hindrances may be so that the planning, process, efficiency, quality, and profitability can be achieved. And location and layout of the plant. A successful entrepreneur understands that plant location and layout is pertinent for creating efficiency in the process. The right location and layout will create sufficient access for the customers and workforce. It would be easier for them to transport inventory and other stuff if the location is feasible. Location often creates a competitive advantage for the entrepreneurs as they may formulate a strategy around their manufacturing enterprise. The following factors affect the location decision, that is closeness to the raw material source to ensure a continuous supply of raw material and to save transportation cost. Second one, closeness to market also reduces the cost of transportation and reduces the damage to the finished goods. Final customers also get finished goods earlier. Closeness to the market affect the market share of the business. Third one, accessibility of skilled labor at a reasonable wage also influence plant location decisions. This is more appropriate for labor-intensive enterprises. Fourthly, availability of productive resources, that is water, power, etc., also affects the plant location, which further reduces the cost. Fifth one is environmental conditions may be critical for some industries. Some products need a dry environment and some require sunny. Sixth one is incentives for various agencies like tax, holidays, and loan offers due to specific locations and influence an entrepreneur to prefer one location over the other. Following factors need to be considered before choosing a location, while factors which affect the plant layout. Management policies may have an impact on deciding plant location. Sometimes an entrepreneur may have to plan for expansion, which restricts the entrepreneurs to having a select layout for a time. Plant location, topography, climatic condition, size, the flow of work, etc. influences your plan. The nature of commodity and process affects the type of layout. An entrepreneur may select a product or process layout as needed. Hazardous process needs to have a different layout than normal processes. Quantum of production will determine the layout of the facility. Different types of productions are job production, mass production, and batch production. If we talk in terms of job production, then we use process layout. For mass production, we use product layout, and for batch production, we use process layout. Available space is one of the reasons for an entrepreneur to decide the layout. Product layout requires lesser space. On the other hand, more space is needed for process layout. Maintenance of equipment requires proper spacing between them. The plant layout should take care of repairs and maintenance issues. Then comes your materials management. A manufacturer enterprise spends a significant portion of its time and money on materials management. A minor saving due to an efficient material management can lessen the working cost to a significant extent. What are the functions of material management? That is procurement of raw material, receiving and warehousing, storage and inventory control, internal and external transportation, disposal of scrap, and clearance of surplus and obsolete materials. Overall objectives of management, materials management are to reduce the cost of material, to procure materials whenever required of desired quality at the lowest possible price, to reduce investment in inventories, and to receive, handle, and store materials efficiently in a cost and effective way, and to simplify and standardize the whole process, and to train the workforce on various aspects of materials management. Another important function which has to be performed is production planning and control, what we call it as PPC. Entrepreneurs may estimate the production planning and control system for efficient operations in an organization. What are the features of this PPC? By using PPC, proper scheduling of the machine items is possible, which results in optimum utilization of production capacity. It further tries that inventory level is maintained at optimum levels at all times. It also ensures that production time is also kept at an optimum level. And with PPC, the excellence of the product is continuously kept. If we talk in terms of uh, breaking this part, is production planning and control in two components, that is production planning and production control. If we talk in terms of production planning, it includes scheduling of processes, dispatching of goods, regular inspection, improving quality, and inventory and supply management. And if we club production control, that means meeting production targets, optimum utilization of the resources available, cost saving, and quality control. Production planning deals with different issues like what and when to produce and how much to produce. Planning is pertinent to ensuring the precise quantity and quality of the material and availability through production process, which includes demand estimation, identify various techniques of production, select optimum and cost-effective techniques, evaluate results and deviation from the plans, and measures to remove deviations if any are there. Production control helps an entrepreneur to attain an optimum production system to accomplish production targets as laid down in plan. Control facilitates a smooth flow in the overall production process. An efficient control system controls wastage of resources, hence cost is reduced. Inventory control measures or ensures that the right amount of supply remains available in the enterprise to meet customers' demand on time. Inventory control deals with the acquisition of material, reorders, shipment, warehousing, etc., which results in customer satisfaction, loss prevention, cost control, and high inventory turnover, etc. It can avoid issues like stock out or overstocking. We have to select any one of the following inventory control techniques, such as just-in-time classification like FSN. FSN is fast moving, not required, slow moving and non-moving. VED is vital, essential, desirable, and ABC is always better control concept. Then comes your cost control. An entrepreneur may opt for inventory management software to control cost and save time. Cost control leads to higher profitability and growth. The following measures can control cost. First one is avoid spoilage, avoid decay and obsolescence, create a balance between over and under stocking and purchasing, digitization of the process, and professional and skilled workforce. Third one is quality control. For small businesses, maintaining strict quality control is very challenging. Quality control maintains a desired level of quality in a product or service. Some factors affect the quality of product, like the quality of raw material, nature of machines, labor skills, plant's working capacity, etc. Efficient control of these factors affect the quality of the product. There are many techniques which are which can be employed by the entrepreneurs for quality control, such as flow charting, histogram, Pareto chart, Pareto analysis, run chart, scatter diagrams, inspection, statistical sampling, etc. Now, managing enterprises human resource function. An entrepreneur uses the term human resource for the individuals or workforce of the organization who performs the various tasks which are given by the enterprise. All are expected to perform for achieving the common goals and objectives of the enterprise. HR department finds, trains, recruit and trains human resources beside performing several other employees benefit programs in the enterprise. What is meant by manpower planning? Entrepreneurs do manpower planning in which he or she essentially works for coordinating, motivating, and controlling the various human resources of the enterprise. Planning is indispensable for the enterprise, without which an organization cannot progress. It matches the supply of qualified manpower to the accessibilities of the job in the enterprise. What are the steps in manpower planning? First, evaluate current manpower, forecasting manpower needs. Thirdly is framing employment programs. The fourth one is framing training programs. Now comes the recruitment and selection process. Recruitment and selection are integral acts to be performed by the entrepreneur. Recruitment involves creating an inventory or pool of potential candidates and inviting them to apply for a position in the enterprise, whereas the selection process selects the most suitable candidate from the pool. Entrepreneur undertakes recruitment and selection to create a working team. It is expected that a proper recruitment and selection process is adopted to tap the best possible human resource. What are the processes which are involved? First of all, it is evaluating the hiring requirements, prepare job description, sourcing the candidate from various sources, evaluating the candidates who have applied, go for an interview, and select the most suitable candidate. Now, after recruitment, training and development comes into play. For an entrepreneur, training and development of the workforce are very important. It involves or it improves the skills, confidence, and efficiency of the employees. It helps in learning new ideas and understanding to advance the performance. Training is a program which upgrades the abilities, skills, knowledge, and competencies of the workforce. It is given to the employees to bridge a gap between the existing and the expected skill to improve their performance in the enterprise. A development program prepares the workforce to perform a future role. It is a learning opportunity for them to get into new skills and get ready for the upcoming work and challenges. Though training and development are considered two different activities that are run side by side to enhance the skills of the workforce. Supervisors or managers working in the enterprise may be trained with expert lectures, group discussions, learning with real case studies, role plays, etc. Then comes motivation and stress management. Motivation and stress management are continuous process to be adopted in the enterprise. An entrepreneur must understand that human resources need the motivation to fulfill a task with a full zeal. An entrepreneur may push a person to act in certain ways by using motivational techniques and by managing stress. What are the different types of motivations? Extrinsic motivation. In extrinsic motivation, the organization motivates an employee to undertake a task efficiently to achieve organizational goals. This motivation is an external force not generated internally like intrinsic motivation. It includes financial rewards, bonuses, oral and written appreciation, promotion, demotions, etc. Then comes your intrinsic motivation. Employees having intrinsic motivations are self-driven in the achieving the objectives of the enterprise and for themselves. Intrinsic motivators are desires to achieve goals, social acceptance, etc. Positive motivation. An entrepreneur may offer positive stuff or rewards for accomplishing a task, which is categorized as positive motivation. An employee may feel motivated by financial payments, promotions, appreciations, etc., which are positive inspiration by nature. Then comes negative motivation. Fear and negativity also motivates and leads the workforce to the desired path. The entrepreneur may use fear, warnings, and threats to get the work completed. Here, individuals get negative motivation through the possibility of demotion, dropping remunerations and benefits, etc. The stress of the employees can be reduced by the following ways. First, efficient and regular feedback. Realistic goal setting for employees. Reasonable employee perks and benefits. Suitable well-being policy for the employees. Creating an environment of self-motivation. And the effective conflict resolution mechanism, if it exists. Then comes ensuring health and safety. The entrepreneur has a legal duty and obligation to provide a safe, secure, and healthy environment in the organization and to work towards the welfare of the employees. Due to legal implications, entrepreneurs need to pay reasonable attention to the basic health and safety considerations of the employees. Theoretically, health and safety are connected. Health is the general state of well-being, which includes physical well-being, emotional and mental well-being too. Health and safety can be improved by adopting the following ways. The entrepreneur may nurture a safety culture in the organization by keeping cooperation from employees and supervisors to ensure work safety. One must ensure that enterprise has adopted best practice for health and safety. Encourage the workforce to report unsafe conditions and practices if they find. Honoring the employees who are concerned about their well-being and the well-being of others. And the entrepreneur may consult employees on various issues of occupational health and workplace safety, like organizing workshops to train about first aids, etc. Now we move to block 4, that is special issues. We will start with unit 11, that is social entrepreneurship. In recent times, social entrepreneurship has been trendy even though often used loosely. For some, social entrepreneurs is a firm with a consensus. Hence, social entrepreneurship is associated with excellent internal and external corporate behavior, represented through corporate social responsibility, what we call as CSR, and corporate philanthropy, respectively. For others, a social entrepreneurship is someone devoted to re-engineering society. Hence, social entrepreneurship is used interchangeably with concepts such as social reform and community empowerment, with leadership is critical. It was proposed by Kipling and Lyons in 2020. What is the concept of social entrepreneurship? For over 4 decades, the phrase social entrepreneurship was created by Ashoka's founder and CEO, Bill Writer, which is still getting traction day by day. Today, Ashoka is the world's largest network of prominent social entrepreneurs and ranks among the world's top 5 non-government organizations. It was Gloria D'Silva, a social entrepreneur from India, who was chosen as the first Ashoka Fellow in 1982 and transformed the way students learn in schools. What is the definition of social entrepreneurship? Though various authors have obtained the social entrepreneurship in unique ways, recently mentions in his book as by portrays 4 major elements of social entrepreneurs are: first one, soc- societal mission, which is launching mission driven business. The intention of donation a portion or even the whole of their income to the advancement of charitable cause. Second one is motivation for social change. The opportunity to make a good contribution to the society, enhancing the quality of life for individuals with a community. Social economic value creation. It includes integration of resources, inputs, processes, or policies environmentally. Focus more on social values rather than market values of products and services. The fourth one is successful implementation of the changes. Implementation of an individual level and society level. The application of social entrepreneurship requires involvement of both micro and macro levels. Here we can see how all these four activities are connected. Notice an overview of social problems. For many decades, India has been striving from a wide range of developmental issues and social problems. These issues and problems are about poverty, healthcare, education, unemployment, water and sanitation, delinquency, environmental issues, and livelihood. This is a result of a higher population growth rate, constantly growing social and environmental needs, and a limited number of resources. Economic growth by itself cannot accomplish development objectives due to the population's rapid growth rate, which would negate any gain from economic growth. Social entrepreneurship undoubtedly could be a means out of many to reduce the gap. It is as it gives opportunity to all strata of society to positively contribute to development and minimize the gap. At present, social entrepreneurs have identified social problems and provided workable solutions. This figure shows a wide range of fields and commercial areas have been penetrated to bring societal change. You can see over here how its presence in different fields have been incorporated. What are the characteristics of social entrepreneurs? Social entrepreneurs bring changes and show the way business operates and uses a new age of social transformation. They grasp hidden opportunities that others overlook and enhance the existing equilibrium. Social entrepreneurs are driven by the feeling to promote the well-being of society, whereas business entrepreneurs are often motivated by the potential of financial gains. Despite this, social entrepreneurs are just as imaginative and open to change as their corporate competitors. Social entrepreneurs are always looking for new and improved ways to tackle the social issues that affect society. Social entrepreneurs are characterized in the following ways: social catalysts, motivations, and the recognizance of opportunities and business model created. These are some of the characteristics of social entrepreneurs, and they can be many more also, since entrepreneurs as a domain is very flexible. Based on disruptive technologies, an entrepreneur can come up with distinctive product or services by changing or by challenging the existing players. It is evident in the banking sector as fintech firms have largely contributed to achieving the objectives of financial inclusion